It is a pleasure to meet you at this opportunity to address an important message. But before that, I ask to my oldest brother who passed away forgiveness and heaven. Getting back to the video message, there is two important issues got my attention, and it does refer to what needs to get much of attention on what concerns growth. Economy inventory. U.S. economy, take it as an example. U.S. economy inventory. It leads to a number of things, part of it visible, part of it invisible. When you know the inventory, you become able to work your plan and planning. An example, inventory investment. If you know the inventory investment, you know investment inventory, and you become able to maintain the investment position. Improve it, increase it, and if you notice U.S. investment position on negative growth since late 1989. For a number of reasons, this is not the point to talk about it, but there is brief words on investment, on growth investment. When you know economy inventory, there are a number of things I just mentioned earlier, visible and invisible. Let me just mention an example. U.S. financial services has visible financial risk, which is familiar to anybody when you get the definition, and another invisible financial risk, which is if you notice the government securities transactions processed in year 2010 was 1.1 quadrillion, not thousands, not millions, not billions, not trillions, quadrillions. And it did increase on year 2011 to 1.3 quadrillions. That is a huge growth amount for processed government securities, ready to be sold. I don't want to get on details, but it does bring, if economy, financial structure not enhanced, it does bring a number of things, especially on industries experienced a number of difficulties. And let me relate it to another part, which brings when you get to economy inventory, you become aware of the economy factors of production. You become aware on how to work factors of production more efficient, which includes land, labor, organization, and capital structure. If you get to there are basic equations, bring things much easier on what concern economy inventory. Let me just mention an example. Gross income equal government spending plus private expenditure plus gross investment, which brings the savings minus investment, plus balance of trade, import and export. If you get to the gross investment, there are a number of things needs to be explained, and it is very important to have Industrial Development Division in U.S. Congress or National Economic Council in the White House. Very important. It does maintain number of things at least. There won't be any FDIC takeover financial institutions. FDIC takeover financial institutions, it happens every year. And you hear the latest news, city of Detroit filed for bankruptcy, and earlier city of Stockton filed for bankruptcy. City of Stockton, an example to financial markets, city in financial markets. City of Detroit, well known, it is the leading cities on commodities markets. There is an impact for those FDIC takeover financial institutions. If it's in Midwest state, if it's a Northeast state, if it's Pacific states or Upper North states, or any South East state or Southwest states, it doesn't matter, or Mid-Atlantic states. How to avoid it? Not supposed to have any takeover financial institutions. They're supposed to have huge economic activities, keeps growth forward in trillions of dollars. If you remember, there is $26 trillion growth in 24 hours becomes available on U.S. financial industry, which means huge economic activities. Why FDIC takeover financial institutions? For a number of reasons. Let me just give you an example. The financial institutions, banks, financial institutions in the United States, they work on financial risk, range, and financial services. Credit cards, credit teller machines, all those kind of things. They are on a specific range. They're supposed to have other things. And that's why they get surprised every year. A large number of financial institutions. If you can visit the FDIC takeover financial institution on the latest edition, you find the numbers every year since year 2008 to present year. A huge number of financial institutions went on FDIC takeover. And on what concern the financial services, let me just refer to Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. If you remember, they have about $8 trillion debt in addition to what increased on the in less than 6 years. The U.S. economy received $14 trillion debt. But let me just focus on Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, $8 trillion debt. It could get solved. The situation with Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac is solvable. Those debt can be sold. What happened to, if you remember, the purchase of Merrill Lynch to Bank of America. Bank of America purchased Merrill Lynch. A similar situation can happen with Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, but there are huge important areas supposed to be prepared, maintained, and I'm not recommending this scenario. There are a number of options. They're supposed to get involved on the economy, participate with the states, and without any, I don't want to get in details, but in a session, solution becomes available, and both Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, they get with $2 trillion each circles. Thank you, and I hope in this brief I made notes on U.S. economy inventory and the growth investment. Thank you, and see you on the next video message.